Guys, welcome back to my first English spoken tutorial. In this tutorial we're going to model a Battleaxe. I found one in the internet. It's pretty cool. It's that one we're going to model. It has a lot of details like here and here. I don't know if we can do this, but we're going to try it. Just try and error and you see if you can do it. Alright, but before we can do that, we have to change something in our scene. The first thing is the important thing. We are going to delete the camera and the light. Just select them, press X and delete, and I see I haven't activated the screencast. Now it works again. The next thing we are going to change is something for the gizmo. If you're going to select an object, normally there is no gizmo, but if you go up there, you can activate on the object gizmo the move tool, and now we have the gizmo. You can move your object with the G key or with these little arrows on the Y-axis, the X-axis and the Z-axis, or under these little boxes you can exclude an axis, like exclude the X-axis or the Z-axis and so on. Alright, the next thing we are going to change is the shading. Normally you have this gray shading on that. I don't like that. So if you're going up there, you have to tap shading and under lighting the madcap tab, and if you click on that you have my standard shading, the clay brown. The last thing we're going to change before we are going to model is the shadow on the object, the highlight on the object. Just for example, if you're going in the edit mode, select this face, insert it, and then extrude it back. If you're going in the right orthographic view, click the numpad 3 key and the numpad 5 key. You can't see this detail we have done. If you go like that, you can see it, but on the right orthographic you can't see it. So to change that, you go up to the shading tab, and under option you have the option cavity, and if you're going to type, you can select both, and now we see what we have done. Alright, so now we are ready to model our axe. For that we are going to delete this default cube, go in the right orthographic view, go to your reference pic. I have it on the second monitor, and with drag and drop you can drag it in your scene. Alright, so first things first, we have to center it, but we can't see the lines of the axis. To change that, we have to go to under the object data properties, and there is the option opacity. Just activate it, and now we can set the opacity a little bit down, and you see your axis. I usually use a value of 0.3. That's enough for me. And now we can center the object. There are two ways to do that. You can easily move it with the G key, just like that, and roughly position it, and with the shift key you can position it with more precision. And the second way is, just undo that, the second way is with these little arrows. Just click it and drag it down roughly in the middle and on the Y-axis on that line. Alright, you have centered it, and now we can start with the model. I split it in two sections. The first section is this one. We are going to start with that, and the second section is the blade, and that's that we're going to make later on. Before we can start, we have to change another thing. It's this little object, this reference pic is in the middle of the word. I don't want it, so I put it a little bit back, And now we have to deactivate the selection of this, because if we are modeling it, especially in the wireframe mode, it's easily to select this one, and that's a little bit tedious. Before we can do that, I just rename it to right for reference right, and with the M key create a new selection, call it ref. Now we have it in our reference collection, and with that you can hide or unhide it. And the more important thing is we have to activate a little filter on it. This one, it's selection filter. If you click on that, you have now this little arrow on it, and if you deselect it, you now can't select it again. Alright, it's in position and you can't select it, and now we can start with the actual modeling. Alright, go in the right orthographic view, just a little bit closer, and we start with this one. With Shift A, you can add a new mesh, go to cylinder and open up this little option. Now go to vertices, go to something higher like 64 for more detail. Now we have to smooth it. I have installed a really cool add-on. It's called Quick Favorites. Go to Blender Market or something like that, where you can find some add-ons. It's really cool. With the Q key you can put some operations and options you need often, and you can access really quick on that. And we need the shade smooth operation, and just click on that, or go under, just undo that, or go under, I think it was under objects, and under, there it is, shade smooth. You can smooth it like that, or with the quick favorites, smooth it like that. It's looking terrible because we have to activate another option under object data properties, and under normals, just open it up, auto smooth, click on it, 30 degrees is fine, and now it's cool. Alright, go in the right orthographic view, click the R button to rotate, 90 on the numpad, and enter. Go into edit mode, scale it a little bit down, like that. I think it's enough. Yeah, it's enough. Go in the vertex select mode. You can change it up here. You have the select mode with edge, face, and vertex, or you use your numbers 1, 2, and 3. You see how it's changing up there. The 1, the 2, and the 3 key. Go into vertex select mode. In the wireframe with Z, select this vertex and drag it down here. Alright, the first thing we have done. Now we are adding these little details on that. Go back in the edit mode, the wireframe, and with Command R you can put a loop cut in here. We have 3 segments, just put 3 loop cuts, or you can put it manually, but I like to do it like that. Now go into edge mode, select, deselect all, select your edge, your loop cut, and put it in place. Alright, now select all your loop cuts. To select all your loop cuts, you can easily drag and drop this box out, and with the B key you can create another box, but keep the selection on it, and with another B key the third box. And now we can split this into bevels. With the Command and B key you can bevel this one, and with your mouse wheel you can change these segments. I think we keep 2 segments. Yeah, 2 segments is enough. And now we have to select these segments. With the Shift Alt key and the right selection of your mouse, you can just select this loop cut around the object. So Shift Alt and right selection, select all these loop cuts. Now we have to scale these loop cuts a little bit out. In order to do that, we have to exclude an axis. It's the y-axis because we want this loop cut going outwards in the direction up and right and left and down, but not in this direction. So to do that, we have to press the S key, the Shift key, and the Y key. And now you see the axes that are included in this movement. And if you're going to move it out, you can see it's doing it right. I don't move it too far because I think it's going to be a big detail. So just move it out to the point that it's the shading is good, like that. And we have done the first detail on this object. So if you want it more smooth, you easily can go in there, just select this two. I deselect the other one just for demonstration. You can bevel it another time with Command B, bevel it down with one segment. You just watch this line under here. If I click Command B, and you can see now we have 3 segments on it, but if you are going down just one segment, I can't show you with the selection on it, but if you look down here, you can see there is just one selection, one segment. Alright, I see it's a little bit better now, but we're going to do that with the bevel modifier, so I undo that. And we're going to the next detail. I think we're going to make this one. So select this part of the object, put it like here. And to do this one, just for the insert of the blade, I usually duplicate this object, this vertices. With Shift D you can duplicate it, Escape key you can undo it, but you have still this selection on it. And now with S, Shift Y you can scale it up. Like that, put it a little bit back. And with the E key, extrusion, put it on this position. Alright, so now we have this detail on it, but we need another one. This one, it seems a little bit difficult, but it's not. I show you how to do it. Just select this part of vertices, put it like, I think like here. And now we have to separate this part of the object from the other. Just select, keep the selection of this vertices, click on Command L for linked. With the P key you can separate by selection, and now you have a second object on it. Alright, now we are going to add another object. It's another cylinder with the same preset. Make sure it's shade smooth and auto smooth on. Go into edit mode, rotate it by 90 degrees on the y-axis. Now scale it a little bit down. It has to fit on this curve, something like that. Just make one side. We don't need the other side for now. But keep in mind this vertices has to be free from the other because we are doing some Boolean modifier stuff. So it has to be free from other object. Go back in the modifier tab, modifier properties, and select your original object to be cut. Go under modifier, go under Boolean, and now we have to select this one. Go to object, this little eyedropper tool, select it, and now we have the cut on it. You can't see it, but if we hide this one with the key hide, we have cut it down. Alright, in order to mirror it on the other side, on the downside, we have to use another modifier. It's called mirror modifier. To do that, just unhide this cutter object, go under the modifier menu, modifier properties, and add the mirror modifier. And now it's all gone, this object, but if we're going to activate the Z-axis, it's on the right position, and now we have to hide it again, and we have the cut on it. Here we have some a little problems with the vertices. caused by the Boolean cut, but after we applied the Boolean modifier, we can change this easily. So now just make a look at this. It's a little bit too tiny, so we have to move the cutter a little bit up. I think that's a good position for it. Yeah, it seems better. Alright, that's a little bit too much of space here, so just select this kind of, just select all the faces, and with the S Shift Y key you can scale it down. Alright, it's better now. Good. Undo the height so we can see the cutter object. Just select your cutted object, go to this little arrow, click on apply and apply the modifier. This one we don't need it again, so delete it. And now we have applied this modifier. Now you can see the problem. It's caused by this little vertices. It's too little the space on that, so just with double G slide on the other vertex like that. If you select all, Q by distance with the quick favorites menu, or if you're going under vertex, I think mesh. It's a long time I don't use this menu up here, but under mesh there is the option. Here is merge. Under mesh, under merge, there is the by distance. And now we can easily delete this overlaid vertices. Just do it on all the object. I hide this one, I don't need it for now. Just slide it on the other vertex, like that. Here's a little bit of a problem. Maybe we can't resolve that so easily. Just slide the other one. Oh, I slide too much. I like to activate another option. The snapping tool, it's up here. Just go under this one, go under vertex and snap with active. Now we can, with the G move tool and the command, you can snap it on a vertex. It's easier to do that than slide this stuff. So this side is done. Let's see the other. There is another one. And down here. Oh, down here you can do it like that. That's done there and there and the other side. Now it's white because we are in the in the picture, but we can select our vertices. Alright, I think we have all. Just select all by distance and now we are done. Yeah, here we have some issue with the shading. It's you can see it easier if we're going to the matcap and use another shading. It's this one. It's the studio light shading. And if you watch closely up there, we have this shading arrow. I don't like that. Up here we haven't any shading arrow. It's looking so far good. Down here we have this spot and that's good, and that's good. Alright, the only shading arrow are on the sides. So go back, and I think it's because we haven't any connection to this one. Maybe we can do something like that. I don't know if it's better. Yeah, a little bit, it's better. Okay, just select this vertex and this one, and with the J key you can join it, like that. select this one, and with the J key, join it. So it's a little bit better. Maybe you can do it like, I don't know if you can do it up to the top, but it's looking good. This reference picture is a little bit annoying. Yeah, it's looking definitely better. Yeah, it's better. Alright, do the other side. Alright, now this object is in terms of finished. It's not finished, but we have done the detailing for now. I'll unhide the reference picture, and now we are doing this part of the object. To keep the same space in the middle, we can do the same thing we have done earlier. Just select this portion of vertices or this face. With Shift D you can duplicate it, and with the numpad 3 key go into the right orthographic view, and on the Y axis you can move it down here. Extrusion key to extrude it like here. And now we have a little bit of a shading problem. You see the difference. It's because the shading is because the normals are facing inwards. You can see it if you activate this this option under the viewport overlay, the face orientation. Everything in blue is good. That means that the normals are facing out, and everything in red is bad. This means the normal facing inwards. So to resolve this problem, just select all the red parts with Command L for the link operation. Now we can press the space bar and type in flip normals, and now they are flipped outwards in the right position, in the right direction. Alright, now we can do the same thing on this portion. Just undo this tick box face orientation so it's coming back to normal, and add the next cylinder with 64 vertices. Rotate it on the 90 degrees on the Y axis, go into edit mode, go in position, scale it down. But I think that's a little bit different because we have a little curvature on, but there is a straight down, so we can do it. Let me see. If you want to have the same detail up here, down here, you just have to duplicate this. Look at this, it's a little bit too tiny, so we have to move the cutter a little bit up. I think that's a good position for it. Yeah, it seems better. Alright, that's a little bit too much of space here, so just select this one. I think we're going to do that. Just select this, delete the vertices, select this one, Shift D, and put it down. Yeah, it's better if we do that. Alright, we have done this one. I think this is a little bit difficult to make, because it seems that's like two objects wrapped in another, but I think we do it normally, but I think we are doing it with a cylinder. Just let me see how we can do that. Alright, add another cylinder, make sure you have 64 vertices, make sure you have shade smooth on it and auto smooth on. Now rotate it by 90 degrees, scale it down, put it in the right position, like that. Select this front vertices, put it in place, scale it a little bit down, and that's enough for the moment. Alright. But it seems it's like two objects, I don't know. Maybe we can see it later on this journey of modeling. Alright, now we have to do this part of the model. So go in the right orthographic view, add another cylinder, or you can just select this one, select these vertices and Shift D to duplicate this. With P, separate by selection, go into object mode, select this created object, go into edit mode, select all, scale it a little bit bigger. It's looking good. Put it down here, extrude it backwards. I think that's a good position. Now we have a little problem because we have here a tilt. But we have here this detail. But first we can do the cutting mode. Yeah, it's better we do first the cutting mode. Do it again, or just select all, Shift D, duplicate it, separate by selection, and now we have this separated object, this separated cylinder. We can use as a cutter. You have just to rotate it on the Z-axis by 90 degrees. Put it in place like that. Maybe just scale it a little bit bigger so you can see what we are doing. Activate a mirror modifier on the Z-axis, and you see you're too close. Just go up a little bit like that. That's looking good. Select your object to be cut, go on the Boolean, select your cutter, and now you have the same cutted object. Right. This one I'm going to hide. Control if you have any problem, but just make sure you haven't any problems beside the shading, but it's looking good. We can apply this one and delete this cutter object. And now we have to do the same thing on this one. To do this easily, go in the local view by hitting the divided key on the numpad, and now you can easily move your vertices. It's a little bit too close, I think. Yeah, just put it up there, this one up there, and this one up there, and so on. By distance, delete the overlapped vertices, and this side is done. Just make the other side. We have here a little problem. No, we haven't a problem. Let's just put it up there, and we have done the other side. Now make the part down here. It's a little bit tedious to make this, to move this, but we have to do it. And don't forget the other side. Alright, you're good to go. So we are finished. Now select this one, J, to join them. The same thing on the, we have to do the same thing on this object like the other one. To keep the shading good, but we have to make another one and another one. Just slide it a little bit out. It seems far good. We have a little problem on here, but and up there, because this one, just delete this one, so we haven't any problem anymore.